All right, you guys, I want to teach us theology through the Matrix. Because, and I didn't mean for this to happen. I was, and it doesn't have to be just the movie. It's just this idea, right? So you never have to have seen the movie. My name is Dr. Cheryl Meier. I'm a psychologist for the last 20 plus years. But I've always seen psychology as ology is the study of, and psyche is your soul. And so I've always seen psychology as the study of your soul and the spiritual path and higher consciousness and understanding your connection with divine love, aka God. And I never want to alienate anyone, so I always welcome all people. And sorry, I just put my makeup on. And so this came about because I was talking to someone who's an atheist and someone I love very dearly. And this person happens to be a child. But I always, no, it's important for you to know, I always look at children as like, they're just old souls here. And whether they're my children or other people's children, they have wisdom that they came here with. I just see it that way. I don't know if it's true or anything, but I like seeing the world this way. And really, kids really respond to me because I have a knowing that they do come in here with wisdom. And so they're on loan to us if they're our own. They came from God and they're an expression of God and their expression of love. And you don't have to share that with me, but just know that it's not like I'm just talking to you, talking down to some child. I was talking to someone with love that doesn't think there's a God. And so I said to this person, and so this conversation, I was just like, I wish I had this, recorded for all of us. And because it's so much better, if I had someone with me and we're talking back and forth. I can't say it's better, but sometimes we engage more. So just act like there's someone else in here with me and we're having the conversation back and forth. And eventually, Elliot, my friend Elliot Smith was this amazing musician. He's passed away now. And he did the one-person shows. And I just had guitar lessons this morning. And we were talking about how he would play the bass line and the guitar line in the guitar. And so if there's a way, because he was super talented, like talk about a child with gifts that came in here, just like a savant and so genius. And so we'll just hope that there's enough here with just me conveying the conversation to you so that you can know this, because I think this will change your life. I know it will. I know it will change your life. Because it will broaden and expand your understanding of divine love. And if we're made out of God, out of divine love from the Creator, then the more accurately we understand about the Creator and the more we expand our hearts, here's this heart again, expand your heart to know this love, then you get transformed and things get transmuted. And there's something called spiritual alchemy, and it's just like the lead of ourselves gets turned to gold faster. That's what I want. And so even I get my nails in these like sparkly colors to remind me always that we're in a matrix. I didn't mean for it to be like purple like this because I saw them see through when I was picking it out, but whatever. It's just like this too. It's just like I've seen people in their etheric body. I've had visions and stuff. And so it's like we are vibrating love at our essence. And, if we get wrapped up in this world and hooked into it and caught up in our ego identity, then you're missing out on who you are. You're missing out on this experience because it can't flow through you as much. If we're like a window, then it's like the window is all clogged up, and divine love is like the sun. It's meant to shine through us to other people. And when it's all clogged up, then you don't see the love as much, and other people don't experience it as much from you. And they're worth it and you're worth it. So anyway, I don't have to talk you into all this. If you're here, you're here. If you don't want to be here, bye. But I know this is going to be valuable for the rest of your life, right? And so if divine love and I just want to make a disclaimer. If any of this, like breaks with whatever the truth of, like, let's say what Christ was teaching, then I defer to Christ. I defer to the real, because he had high consciousness. Now people have distorted him a lot and really narrowed down what he has said. But again, I read this thing from a mystic that said the Buddha predicted that the Christ would come, that God would come in human form eventually. But don't worry about any of that stuff right now, okay? We want to just stay away from that, because that shuts our minds down, because we've heard it so much and people have put so much dogma on top of that, right? So let's just go back for a second to mythology and to the story. Like, let's say if Adam and Eve were here, or whatever, if there were two humans, well, there was one, and let's just say there was one, okay? You don't have to agree with me. And God separated, divine love separated them so that they could be with each other, because he couldn't find an equal match for Adam, which means out of the earth, okay? So let's just say that Adam and Eve were in a sort of higher realm, and when they fell, they brought earth down with them. Now, I'm not saying this is perfectly theologically sound. We're going with a story here, okay? So you can understand. Anyway, so brought down earth with them. And so earth fell in a way, and they had to be clothed in human, right? They were human in a way before, but it said God clothed them. And so if now we were souls of a kind and we're clothed now with a human body, and that's a gift, right? That it's not to just throw that away, but it's to say, if we're now in this, right? What was coming up with this child was that, what if we are all in a matrix of sorts, right? What if we're in a video game and people are playing in these avatars? An avatar is a character. You pick a character and you're playing it, right? You are the one playing it, right? But if you are so caught up in this world, right? It says to walk through this life knowing that your citizenship is in heaven. We're ambassadors here, right? And we're taught that for a reason. Like, that is like a clue for how to have the corrective experience in this world, how to come correct, how to be properly detached from this world, not be like, oh, I have a hard heart, I don't care about anything, I'm just going to heaven. Smile, Jesus loves you. That made me suicidal, I can tell you that for sure, because I kept being taught as a child that, you're not going to feel love and know love until you're back in heaven. And it's like, wait a second, something's missing in that picture. And so, through my study for the past 30 years, studying this and undergraduate and graduate school, and then as a psychologist for the past 20 plus years, I look into this all the time. This is just always what I'm studying. My whole wall of my garage is books on one side, and there's books all over my house, And so what if it's like, and this is just a metaphor or analogy, whatever, it's just like this. It's not saying that this is perfect theology again, okay? What if we're playing a video game, right? And you are a soul and you're in this body. And it's like the Avatar movie or the Matrix movie or Free Guy in a way, I don't want to date my videos, so it doesn't matter how old those movies are by the time you're watching this. It came to you for a reason, for sure. Trust that, because we're in a matrix, right? Anyway, if you think of divine love is the creator, whether you understand this as a matrix or not, it's like God can see 1,000, 1,000,000,000,000 moves ahead of time. And so God knows how to place things and how to make us so certain things will draw to us and will repel certain things. So I always encourage, be in love the most that you can, because then you'll keep attracting love to yourself, but don't feel like you are totally in charge of that, okay? Because that's a whole different thing. That's not, it takes you off the track. Anyway, as far as what I've experienced. So let's say you're in this experience, and what you do is you get so caught up with the game that you think you are that character in the game, and other people around you keep getting like, look at how much money I've earned in this game, or how many levels I've gone up in this game. And it's like, no, that's the game. You are the you playing the character in the game. And so if somehow in the fall, in whatever that is that we chose because we wanted to have these experiences, because God made us out of his own good pleasure, not a narcissist, not to just watch us suffer, but it's just like we brought down ourselves into death, into suffering. It's like that wasn't part of the original plan, but we brought ourselves into this game where death can happen and where people can hurt each other and stuff like that. Now, and we're separated in a way from divine love, from God. Now, if you're God and you wanted to find, look, it was just 11:11 when I said that, right? If you're God into this video, right, and you wanted to find a way to bring everybody back, but you had to be fair. You can't just go, oh, no consequences for anything, you know. That's not just. And so there was a consequence, and somehow we're over here now, we're in this game. And if you wanted to bring them back, you like come into the game, put on an avatar suit, show up in this game, but you're actually living it as a real person. So you're experiencing everything as real, because it's just like in your dreams, you experience everything as real, but then you wake up and you're like, oh, thank God that was just a dream, you know, or like, oh, I wish I was still in that dream, you know? And so, so just understand that if there was a loving, God, loving, absolute, infinite beingness, just vibrating love in the beginning that all of us were created out of, and we took ourselves out of that because we were like, we want to do it our own way, and that love wants to bring us back, and chose to inject himself or herself, in this case, let's say it's a himself, into this world. But it's more than a himself, because I think even Christ understood, if you talk about Christ, you know, himself more like as the isness, as truly the isness, not as so identified and caught into, oh, I'm playing a female avatar or a male avatar. But anyway, okay, I won't get into all of that. And wants to bring us back to this love, and wants us to know this love. And it's just like created a bridge, created a pathway, wants to wake us up, shake us and wake us up, so that we can know, wait, you're more than this. You're more than this game character that you're playing. You are the person playing the game character. And then I said to the child, I said, look, if I was, because you know, if I was, and this person was, and this person was, whomever, people that you love so deeply, you know, because I have a deep loving relationship with this person. If we were all asleep in a pod playing a game and thinking that's all there was to our lives, wouldn't you want to come into the game too and go, hey, I found out that we're not just this game. We're more than this game. We're so much more. And you can be so much free of your sufferings because you're so caught up in this game that you think you're this game, and you think you have to keep proving yourself to all these people in this game. I just quoted this Rumi quote the other day on Twitter, and it was just like, it was like you've spent half your life trying to please other people, and then the other half like trying to get them to please you, or something like that. It's enough playing. Let's stop playing. Stop playing already and live your life. Live your life as the free, the real soul that you are, the soul that you are, the soul that you always were. That I'm here to wake you up and remind you, because I love you. Like, I don't want anyone to be stuck in their pod, identified with that, when you can know so much more love and know that someone's been doing their best to reconcile us back with love and heal us and take the punishment upon themselves, because it had to go somewhere. Anyway, to bring us back to that love. All right, much love.